Hi, I'm Vanessa Sivadge, founder and president of Protecting Texas Children. Our core mission here at PTC is to safeguard the innocence of every child, defending them from an onslaught of cultural confusion, sexualization, and exploitation. In recent years, growing concerns from parents across the state of Texas have challenged the long-standing perception that school libraries are safe, age-appropriate spaces for young readers. Did you know that today's libraries contain sexually explicit content, graphic images, and themes that are completely unsuitable for young readers? That is why Protecting Texas Children is honored to partner with Bonnie Wallace, a passionate advocate who is on the front lines of spearheading the movement to remove this harmful material from schools and libraries. She is a wife and mother from Llano, Texas, and her work is the heartbeat of our mission. We are honored to partner with her. Bonnie, thank you so much for joining us. Please tell us how you got involved.
Vanessa, thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here, to be partnering with PTC. So in the spring of 2021, I started hearing from some of my friends that there was some harmful content in the Llano County Library. I had never actually seen it, and as an avid reader myself, I wondered, how bad could it really be? But in November of 2021, another friend showed me a picture from this book, and it is a picture of oral sex, two children having oral sex, and it just lit a fire in me. And that fire has been burning ever since. You know, I just emotionally could not handle these types of content, this type of graphic, explicit content available to children. And so I made a determination that I was going to do something about it. In January of 2022, the judge in Llano County appointed me to be on the Library Advisory Board, and the chaos and confusion began. And a few months later, in April of 2022, the county was sued. I was sued personally also. And it's just really shocking that some people really are determined to keep this content available to our children.
Bonnie, you and I have testified together on multiple occasions in Austin at the Texas State Capitol, and I'm always astounded at how the left is such avid proponents of keeping this kind of harmful content in libraries. You know, some of the things that they say are children have a First Amendment right to this kind of content, and that this is an art form, and that children will become more well-rounded by accessing this. So how do you respond to that?
Well, I get asked this question often, as you might imagine. And my answer to this is it scales over the eyes, because that is the only answer. These people are very deluded into thinking they are actually helping children. And so often, you know, when we're together testifying, I actually read excerpts from the books because they are so determined to say that there is nothing harmful in the library books.
Yeah.
And so, you know that there is, I know that there is. And I think that speaking truth is just our only solution. We have to open eyes and just show people what's actually in there. Just like me, when I saw this picture, it opened my eyes. And you can't go back to ignorance ever again. And so we need to go and speak out. City council meetings, county commission meetings, library board meetings, school board meetings, and of course the Capitol and SBOE also. So that's what we do.
Bonnie, tell us a little bit more about why you got sued in the first place.
Thank you for asking. So Llano County, you might have heard, is the first library in all of America sued for removing harmful content from the children's section of the library. I was on the Library Advisory Board, so we advised the commissioners that we had some content that we did not feel was appropriate to be accessible to children. They went in and removed 17 books from the children's section, placed them in the adult section. So the books were not taken out into the backyard and burned. And we weren't banning anything. And so, but 7 residents of Llano County felt like we infringed on their First Amendment right. And they're all adults, so they really didn't have standing anyway to sue, but that was what we were sued for. And so we continue standing up and we continue fighting.
Bonnie, let's look at the state of Texas as a whole. This is a huge state, hundreds of school districts. I know that you have traveled personally to so many of those and advocated and just encouraged those in office to remove this kind of content. So what did you find in these libraries, and what was the reaction from parents?
Well, in the very beginning, I thought that this was isolated to Llano County. But as soon as I found books in Llano County Library, I began looking in the Llano School District. My daughter had graduated from school there, so I'm very familiar with it. And lo and behold, I found the same bad books. And it's even worse in a school library, because at least in a public library, you can put harmful content into the adult section.
Mm-hmm.
But in a library for students,
Yeah.
there shouldn't be no adult section.
Right.
And so I found that this problem is pervasive. It's all over Texas.
Yeah.
In fact, I can tell you I've been into over 1,000 libraries, and I have not found one clean library, not one.
Wow.
So I began compiling a list, and it just grows all the time. In fact, I added like 25 books yesterday.
Wow.
And so the publishers are no longer publishing books with healthy content.